Hi Whovians, Harry here, and welcome to my review for the final episode of The War Between the Land and the Sea, the episode The End of the War. And yeah, I honestly don't know what to think of this episode, but in this video I'm going to go over my thoughts on this episode because yeah, it was crazy. But before I get into that, don't forget to subscribe, also leave a like and comment down below, and let's get into the video. So, the end of the war starts off, it goes to show how brutal actually Homo Aqua are and how dedicated for their cause they are, because it opens on just like a normal street, just a dog walking by, and I thought we were going to like pan to someone like we know or something, and then another dog walker and dog go by, and I just knew immediately from then that something terrible was going to happen to the dogs. I did not, obviously, I thought, hopefully nothing bad will happen to them, hopefully it's just a coincidence, but no, a sea devil like rises out from the water, blows a horn, summoning all the dogs, and it is revealed that they ate them. Which, why? I mean, the ambassador, I can't remember his name. I think it's John Henry or something like that. Is trying to say like, why did you eat our dogs? And he goes, they're domesticated, they're nice, and then, of course, Tide, the Sea Devil ambassador, claps back with saying that, well, fish are like family. But as someone who has a dog, dogs are like family, pets are like family. You have them for so long, you have them in your home, you are with them every day. They are like a member of your family. They are. So, I mean, human ambassador, you should have said that pets, dogs are like family as well, because they are. But moving on past that, we, of course, get to Kate Stewart coming to grips with grief. And I was debating whether I should mention this in a video, but a couple of days ago, like, from my last video, since then to now, my nan passed away. Yeah, she, so, I know what grief is like myself experiencing it, my dad experiencing it, and just, like, the whole side of that family, like experiencing grief in different ways. So even though Kate Stewart is, like, seeing Colonel Ibrahim and in, like, places where there isn't anyone, or seeing Colonel Ibrahim in place of someone else, she is experiencing grief in a different way to everyone else. Some people obviously will experience it that way, and it's a great way of, like, showing it in, like, storytelling, like a show. But yeah, of course, grief, it affects people in different ways, basically. And this puts Kate on an even darker path, because she obviously cannot take a break with all of this happening everything happening, like the Sea Devils and Homo Aqua coming out, and just this whole war being started between the land and the sea as well. And she wants some medicine to help her through this. However, her therapist or psychiatrist or something like that doesn't want, well, she thinks that she should be signed off because of the grief that she's going through, which is quite reasonable for being in a high pressure environment, and one single mistake in like this is, well, there are life and death scenarios in this show. But Kate, of course, doesn't want this to happen, and we see her go dark when she threatens to reveal to the psychiatrist's husband that she has been cheating on him if she doesn't get the medication that she desires, which is just so out there that UNIT is, of course, keeping an eye on everyone in their orbit, even things that they think that they're being sneaky and, like, with, but yes, Kate Stewart and UNIT know everything about them, and Kate is now using it to, well, hone her darker path, which she goes really dark at the end of this episode. And things are even worse for our main character, Barclay, because Barclay is now, well, he has divided like the whole country, the whole world maybe even, with a lot of people thinking that he's a hero, standing up for humans and Homo Aqua alike, and that maybe they can broker a peace, and a lot of other people thinking he's a traitor, has betrayed humankind to Homo Aqua and want to kill him. And he is actually being hauled up in the hotel that he has been in for basically this whole series, where there is even a thing to check his food hasn't been poisoned, like it's safe for him to consume, with not only the food but the drink as well. And we know that people in the orbit that are like making his food don't like him either, because not only is there, saying can he eat and drink this food, but one of the first things that we see him served is some fish fingers, and of course, with Homo Aqua, salt, and the fish as well, he doesn't want to be eating any fish or anything, because he wants to stand with Homo Aqua, stand with salt, and they're poking some fun at him, which is not really that funny in the grand scheme of things with everything that has happened in the show. But, of course, Barclay can't stand by, because it is still raw in his mind when Salt, basically had to jump off the bridge and leave him behind, of course, in UNIT. And he still promises that he'll find her. So every night, with the help of a guard, he has a switch to turn off the cameras in his room, and also the guard acting like he hasn't seen anything. And every night, they've even got a car for him. Every night he drives to the nearest coastline and then runs into the water, swims about in it, calling for Salt. But every single time she doesn't show up. Until one night where, unfortunately, severance happens. And severance is, it's a disease to wipe out at least, I think, 80 or 90% of Homo Aqua. And it is put through this because they infect Barclay with it, or his touch or something, because the guard someone were preparing his food, spikes his beer, and the guard also takes his camera switch and his food and drink checker, replaces them with other ones, with fake ones that will give him the wrong reading, and he and the guard outside takes them. And I thought this was going to be oh no, that they've killed Barclay. I mean, this is a shock. I definitely did not expect the main character to die with more than 5 minutes left in the show. And no, actually, it's just a sleeping pill, I think, or something, in Barclay's beer, and they've infected him with it, and he passes out so that they can infect him with the virus. And surprise, surprise, the night he is infected, the dawn, before he has to go back to the hotel before anyone notices that he is missing, Salt shows up. And he is, of course, still finding a way. Maybe he can, run off with Salt into the sea where no one can find them, or run off into the land where she isn't persecuted by her own kind, Homo Aqua. And, Salt is no, you need to stay with humanity. You need to tell someone you trust, so UNIT, about Accord. Just ask Homo Aqua for Accord, and and it will solve the war. It will stop the war, the end of the war. So Barclay is obviously confused by this, but he goes along with it, goes to Kate Stewart, Shirley, everyone, and tells them about Accord. And they don't know, well, of course, they don't know what it is. Could it potentially put the world in more danger? Because the world is standing on a knife edge in this series, and something wrong can just send the whole thing into disarray. But they decide to embed it in little recordings, little packages that they were already leaving for Homo Aqua. So put Accord in there, put the message of Accord in there, and hopefully this will lead them to peace with Homo Aqua kind. But unfortunately, severance has already happened, and it is not good. It is days and days, maybe even a week without Homo Aqua. Even before Accord was embedded in their message, Homo Aqua went dark. And of course they think, are they hiding from something? Has something even worse turned up? Have they, is this Accord taking place? Are they planning something? Or has something even worse or beyond their knowledge happened? And it is the last one. Severance has happened, and basically throughout the whole world, just one or two Homo Aqua are washing up on land, and yeah, they have been affected. They are dead. Something like their scales are clogging up instead of falling off, and it is embedding them down and clogging up their arteries or something, and they are dying from it. So yeah, it's Homo Aqua is being wiped out by severance, and it is the Prime Minister along with I think the American general and like the French general, something like that. Those three have, of course, put severance in play. They were the ones that we saw in, well, the previous two episodes, 3 and 4 especially, talking about severance and putting it into action. And all they needed was someone to, well, put it in on a Homo Aqua, put it into the sea so that they could all get affected. It's not really explained how it is in Barclay and how much it affects Homo Aqua, especially when the Homo Aqua ask for the human ambassador to be Barclay, and 3 Homo Aqua turn up, and one of them is Salt. So, of course, Salt was okay, even though Barclay had direct contact with her. So it's not really explained. Salt states that this virus was, like, genetically engineered into killing either 80 or 90% of Homo Aqua. And, yeah, I mean, it shows how humans, again, like in Torchwood Children of Earth, are the true monsters. Homo Aqua say the war is over and that they will disappear forever because they are scared. They are terrified of humans, even though they seem to have the upper hand throughout this whole series, and that maybe humans should be terrified of them, and some were, that, yeah, humans, instead of Homo Aqua, are like the real monster. They are terrified of humans, and yeah, they show pictures that they know that they can't trust humans, with some fishermen taking pictures with one of those more fish-like Homo Aqua creatures, of it, of course, being dead, but then making fun of it, like they've won the war, and they have. However, Salt has one message for the people that engineered this, which, of course, the 3 people, the Prime Minister, the I think American and French general, that water knows war and water will find a way to kill them. Of course, humans cannot survive without water. Water is in every part of our life, and water will find a way to exact its vengeance. And we kind of see like flash forwards to their potential fates. I think this does happen, but it's like flash forwards with the Prime Minister taking a shower, and then this horrific, and I mean horrific, footage of him like shooting water out of his mouth. It is horrific, and I bet he drowns that way. And then the other two drowning in a car full of water, then being locked in a car filled with water and them drowning, and that is their fate for, well, putting severance and killing a load of Homo Aqua. Because peace with Accord could be brokered, but of course that will never be the case. I knew that humans would have to win in some way, because I know that they wouldn't have Homo Aqua running about on land, or humans, living in fear of Homo Aqua, especially with Doctor Who in the future having to not really acknowledge this spin-off. But yeah, I didn't expect that. And actually, Kate Stewart gives a reason as to why the Doctor maybe doesn't show up in this spin-off, because the Doctor has said to her, before that, he can help save the world, but he can't help shape the world. In his words, humans can get it wrong all by themselves, and yes, of course, it is not a great day in the show to be a human, but they have won the war. However, something happens that I am so confused about, because Kate Stewart gets a priority 1 phone call from Barclay's doctor saying that, I don't know, something like Accord has shown up, and it changes Barclay to give him gills so he can survive in the water, but it's just so weird. I don't get this ending. I knew that he'd have to be hauled up in a safe house and he couldn't really go outside, and he still might have to check his food and drink for life, but it's just so weird. Yes, I knew that he would either be with either Salt or his ex-wife or the unit operative. As I said, there was a love square or love triangle between them, it makes sense why he chose Salt, but Accord giving him gills, and if the virus was truly infected in him, he will die. This disease was designed to take out Homo Aqua, and if that was infected in him, and he has kind of become part Homo Aqua, he's going to die because of it. So, Barclay maybe survived only a couple of hours after seeing him sail off into the distance, and I still don't get what Accord was about. If Accord can change a human into a sea devil, or at least give them gills, how was that to broker peace? And apart from flooding the earth, I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But that's the end. Or is it? Because we get a, mid-credit scene of Kate Lethbridge-Stewart just leaving Barclay after taking him to Salt, and Salt and him, swimming off into the distance to live together, and a runner runs by and just tosses some rubbish onto the beach, and Kate tells him to pick it up, and he says that he won't. And this is something everyone sees in our everyday life. Some people just outside my house, I live by a shop, so it makes sense, but I have seen rubbish from not even the shop, from town, which is quite a bit away, rubbish from there chucked just down outside. The amount of rubbish you will not believe. So people are not only chucking loads of rubbish in our oceans, not only are we destroying our waters, we are destroying our land as well, because, I don't know, we can't have nice things. But this is when Kate Stewart goes off the deep edge, and she threatens the man with a gun to pick up the rubbish, and of course he is freaking out. He doesn't know what to do, even though she keeps saying, just pick up the rubbish, and I don't know whether she kills him, but yeah, that is dark. With the final scene, final memory we have of Kate Lethbridge-Stewart in potentially the Russell T Davies 2 era is her pointing a gun at some random man, which, quite frankly, is dark and shocking. But, yeah, that is it. Again, I just feel like the ending felt a bit flat, which has been a constant theme in this Russell T Davies 2 era, that no ending has felt good. And I had high hopes for The War Between the Land and the Sea after seeing the final trailer, and it might have let me down again. But that is just my thoughts. Overall, a pretty good series, but again, the sour taste ending just keeps recurring, and that has really let down The War Between the Land and the Sea, and has put Doctor Who in the situation they find themselves in. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Did you like The War Between the Land and the Sea? Are you also disappointed by the ending, or do you like it? As I said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Also, if you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like, also subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.